Alright, well, I'm back, and well, I guess time to check this character out again. This time I'll be performing a damage build, meaning that I will make a support character into a DPS character, since well, she's already a hybrid type of hybrid type of character, so she can do both really good. And well, I gotta say she has some really good looking outfits, and I will try to get most of it. So the current gear that I have, the first one, the 1, 2, 5, and 6, or should I say the first 4 ghosts that you could see are from the are from Alpha, from S Lucia. As you can see, nothing much changed. She's pretty much the same rank. Her HP though is increased quite a bit. All the skills are pretty much maxed out for her current level, 71. And well, the only thing that I'll just increase here in a bit is the weapon. I will add some buffs to the weapon, and I will increase its effectiveness just a little bit. So here you can see the effects of the consciousness of the ghost, and I will say that these fucking stigmas, or should I say ghosts, work really good on this character. Surprisingly, I didn't expect to see such performance increasement, but there is. Also, like I said, this is the current weapon that I have. Now I have spare swords over here, which I can embed into the weapon, and that way I will increase its specs and statistics just a little bit for DPS, of course. And well, the CP has been raised, everything has been raised a little bit, and well, of course, the ghosts, or should I say the consciousnesses, are for physical damage. The last like 3 and 6 are pretty much the same as on my primary build, but the first 4 are pretty much the ones taken from S Lucia Alpha, since they do give some good physical buffs, as you could read. And well, I guess it's time to see how she will work. I will say also the other the 3 and 6 are also kinda buffed, so most of them are pretty much buffed. Not to the fullest potential, but they're buffed to quite the extent. And well, I'll start with the Abyss Lake adventure over here, and holy shit, should I say that she is very stable. Now, of course, since she is a support, not a fully fledged DPS, but she can be a fully fledged DPS and a tank. I find her extremely effective at these stages, mostly because there is some form of bleed, or should I say some form of burn effect, that will reduce your HP with time. And her healing abilities, matched with the DPS matched with the DPS gears that I have at the moment, make her a really stable, effective, and really all-around character. Which I'm really surprised, since she can be pretty much everything. Even you can use her for solo stuff as well, which you will see later. She can tank, she can pretty much actively tank. If you time everything correctly, she can be an active tank in this current loadout that she has. Also, she can be also a better DPS if I pretty much focus on the ghosts and the consciousness for fully fledged DPS. This is pretty much the DPS heal kind of hybrid. Pretty much balanced DPS and pretty much balanced healing abilities, and pretty much balanced to high tanking, which is not bad. Pretty much a all-around good character for pretty much all kinds of solo combats that you can find. You'll see what I mean in co-op. This is extremely effective at carrying people in co-op, as you will see later on. And well, let's start with the. Well, I wanna say something about the DPS part. These current ghosts that I have equipped on her are just one variation of ghosts that I can and that I will fit on this current character. Since there are multiple ghosts and consciousness for DPS, this is just one variation of them that I have prepared for this video. But for the next one, and for the future ones, I'll prepare multiple multiple loadouts, multiple equipments, multiple gear loadouts, and multiple consciousnesses for this character, to see which one is working best for her for DPS. And well, like I said, this one is pretty much a balanced DPS, balanced healing abilities, and balanced to high tanking. I say balanced to high tanking because if you look at her HP, she has like 8.6k, almost 9,000. That can be increased. With, well, it can be increased if I would to fully maximize the affix skills on the 3 and 6 gear, on the 3 and 6 consciousnesses. But so far this will do the job just fine. And I find it kinda weird, but at the same time I kinda expected it to see these ghosts work on this character so good, since they are the recommended gear for the S Lucia, or for Alpha should I say. But surprisingly it ends up working really good, really well on this character. Now here, like I said, in order to maximize your damage, you need to match 3 blue and 3 yellow, or should I say 3 blue and 3 red. It depends on the situation that you choose. If you want maximum area damage, then you match 3 blue and 3 red. That way you will maximize the area of effect damage. If you want to focus your firepower with the yellow ones, or should I say with the railguns, then you should go triple blue and triple yellow, and that way you maximize your railgun damage, or should I say the yellow damage, so her primary attack, which is also pretty neat. I'm also the blue, when you match 3 blues and you turn on the ultimate, that gets buffed as well. And well, overall everything that brings to really high DPS. Now of course this is not the highest possible DPS ever. If I remember, there is still a couple other gears that I need to test out that will probably be the maximum possible damage, but lowest possible heals probably, or who knows, maybe I can find a perfect balance between those. So the tactic with this character is to pretty much have at least 3 blue and 3 yellow at all times, since that way you do maximum damage with this current character that I'm using. And also, even if you, for example, dodge and then you pretty much start tapping on the blues and yellows, that way you also can maximize your damage, since when you dodge and when they start blinking, that's when you do extra damage. So theoretically speaking, for the maximum possible buff, you should try to dodge, then match 3 blues while they're blinking, and then match either 3 yellows or 3 reds. It depends on your need. So that will pretty much give you the highest possible damage output for this character. Now this character, in this current loadout, this current setting that I use her, she can pretty much one-shot many of the enemies with the red. I did notice that when I played the other stages. Pretty much in some instances she kind of surprised me because she delivered so much damage. Like I'm talking about, I dodge 1 blue and 3 red, and all 5 HP bars just disappear on the enemy, which is really nice, really neat. Now you can see the score there. The first score is using Alpha, the second score is using this character, so small difference. There is still that small difference, but compared to Alpha, the S-Sleeve with this current gear is a lot more tankier. Alpha just dies extremely quickly because she's just fragile, while S-Sleeve here is a really balanced, and should I say, to some extent kind of overpowered character, since she does heal and she does DPS, and she is tanking, since she can tank with her high defense and with her high healing abilities. And that's a really, like, overall general all-around really good character so far. And well, still have to experiment with other builds. We'll definitely experiment with multiple DPS builds for this character. This build so far did really surprise me, that it just works so well. I kind of forgot how really fun to play this character is, and as you can see, here we did have some bleed. but her superior healing abilities prevented her from losing major portions of her HP, so pretty much leaving me with barely a scratch. Her healing abilities are also extremely useful in co-op, since you probably know co-op in this game is extremely hardcore and can be difficult, can be really hard and can be really difficult, and having a good medic there is a good thing. And in this case, well, since most of the teams can be kinda weird, most teams fail really quickly. This character, however, can tank. She can pretty much survive to get hit and to deliver damage and to heal herself at the same time. And I think so far no character in this game can do that. So speaking of which, in that particular case, this character is pretty much all around a really, if not one of the most useful characters that you have for multi-purpose hybrid builds and stuff like that. So as a starter character, definitely go for this one, since until you pretty much get the gear that you need for other characters, she will do everything for you pretty much. That's how good she is at this point. And well, and also her ultimate, she heals herself with her ultimate. Surprisingly, well, not surprisingly, she's a healer after all. She deals damage and heals herself, and as you can see, my health going up and down, that's that active tanking that I'm talking about. She does survive quite a lot of hits, and this stage has some major bleed going on, as you can see. Still, her high defense and her high resistances prevent me from dying quickly. Can't say the same for Alpha though. At this point, I would be in the need of switching characters if I were to play Alpha, since she kinda is really fragile, and in this point I remember actually having to switch her a couple times back when I played her, since well, it's Alpha, fragile character. But this character can just tank it all and do the damage needed to complete everything. So yeah, definitely impressed by how well she's performing so far at this point, and definitely a lot more impressed when I actually started to play co-op, since that was really interesting. That was really interesting how it turned out, and you will see what I mean. Alright, well, on to the final, I guess, Abyss Lake stage. We will see how she will be. Now, of course, you will do more score if you use all characters combined, that's true. This is just a versatility and pretty much showcasing of what she can do solo, because, well, solo play in this game is possible, and I pretty much enjoy it. And this character so far has been one of those characters that's impressing me so far. And okay, now in this case, in this Moonlight stage, you have to be careful even in the next phase, since those fuckers can pretty much one-shot you. Well, one-shot any other character, should I say. This character can withstand like 2 or 3 hits from them, where for like Alpha can't take 1. She like dies instantly. You will see what I mean. And here I have 3 blues, now I matched 2 yellows, and I do some really nice damage to them. Now I matched evasion plus yellow, and there we go, doing even more damage. Alright, matched 3 blues, 3 reds, and most of them died in an instant. Alright, so now here I should have matched 3 blues, and I should have matched the ultimate, but I forgot. So yeah, that's a little bit of my mistake there, but it doesn't matter. She still does damage, and as you can see, you really need to time your evasions here, right? Since those hammer peeps can pretty much take you out in one shot with it. This character, however, can survive a couple hits without any problems, but getting hit isn't the way to play. So I am, as you can see, I'm doing a really good job at evading. Still a really stable character, should I say, in that perspective, since she dies so hard, it's not even funny. It's not even funny. And well, doing some decent damage solo, should I say, with them. Now, of course, if I had her 6-star weapon, it would be a lot more easier, and I'm going to try to get her 6-star weapon, since 6-star weapon in this game is 6-star weapons are actually most powerful things that you can have. And if you have the 6-star weapon, then your character will be a lot more lethal than mine at the moment with the same build. So I'll definitely try to get the 6-star weapon for this character. And then when I get the weapon, then you will see a major increasement in the overall damage output for this character. It can actually be doubled, and you will see what I mean when I get the weapon. Then she would be a really deadly DPS with the current build, and even a deadlier DPS in the next one. Now here, I'll just show a bit of tanking, how much damage she can take. Now this is on the Chaos level. It's not the highest difficulty, unfortunately, since I did waste my runs before I even thought of making this video. But I will probably record that in the near future when the time comes. Probably in the next DPS build, and probably in the next DPS build I'll just record this build and just record another build on the same difficulty. So that would be interesting. Now, as you can see, I'm still tanking really good. My HP is like on 75 to 80%, even though after getting hit a couple times by her. She is dealing some major damage, so you gotta be careful around those. And as you can see, I am definitely doing some damage, some really decent damage to Alpha over here. And well, she jumped straight into my trap. That's what I was planning, to pop the ultimate when she comes in, and my health is fully restored. Now you could see me taking some hits on purpose, and now you could see that she did tank those hits really good, and that her health pretty much stood the same. It did drop to some extent, but I healed it back without any problem whatsoever. And it's actually really impressive how much this character can actually withstand. And she's not even maxed out. There are still more levels to go, so that means she can only be more lethal than this. So that's really interesting, and it's a decent score. Alright, well, a decent score with a support character. Well, no runs left, so I guess on to co-op. Let's see. Oh no, alright, well, so how she will perform in like basic stages. Well, if she can pretty much withstand so much in the challenge stages, if she is so successful there, then that means she will be also successful in these types of stages, like really successful. And this is why I say that you should go for this character as your first S rank, since overall she's a really forgiving character, thankful character, not hard to play at all, and really effective. And as a starting character, definitely really good. She is a healer. She is a DPS if you make her to be a DPS, and she does do the job quite well. Almost like a fully fledged DPS character, which is not a bad thing. That's actually really amazing. Specifically because we all know not all of us have the best luck in gacha. And well, you pretty much want to have a character that can do the job for you before you get actual DPS characters. And well, since they already give away free S ranks, always you should go for this character, since why not? And well, you definitely will not regret getting this character. And well, I'm just saying from my own personal experience, I personally enjoyed playing her since I got her. And well, a small boss battle over here. As you can see, she is still dumpstering everything around. She is still dominating area, and that's kinda scary. But again, showing the versatility of this character, her performance is extremely good. And holy shit! Well, on to the next stage. Now these are the stages extras. They don't use stamina. And that's one of the reasons I play them, because they are kinda more difficult, and they don't waste any stamina. So pretty much throwing her in a kind of difficult situation to see how she will perform. And so far I can say, well, you can see that she is performing quite well. Alright, so what else? What's there else to say about this character? Well, I did already say about the color matching, which ones are the best. pretty much primary ball to match is blue. Like I said, blue gives buffs. Blue, yellow, and red, or blue red or blue yellow, depends on your needs. Both of them are actually working really good. Like I said, it depends on the situation. In this case, the yellow ones are going to do the job really good because they're kind of spread away, and I will focus one by one instead of using the red one, which will just damage one and it will waste the area effect. And good thing is, really good thing is, every 3 matches will heal you. So that's kinda, I will say really, I don't want to say overpowered, but it's really good because that way you can tank. She restores like 1/8 or 1/7 of her HP with matching 3 colors, or should I say with matching 3 of the same color. So that's really good. And I will try to get all the other S ranks, of course. I'm still hunting that. We'll try some A ranks as well as time goes on, and can't wait also for new characters to see how they perform. The new character that we're getting in February seems to be really nice. And well, that being said, time for some cooperation over here. Now this is one of the highest difficulty bosses, I believe. It depends on what the teammates put the boss to. And well, time to see how she will perform in co-op as a support healing class tanky DPS, something hybrid, like jack of all trades stuff. And well, I would say definitely other people will definitely have better gear, since I kinda started too late. So her function in co-op should be healing, but in some cases, and I say in some cases, in recent cases that I had, in co-op I had to carry, and being a fully fledged healer kinda didn't help my case, since I did heal, but I didn't do enough damage, so the boss kinda out-healed me in a way that I couldn't tank the boss, and that was kinda tricky. But with this current build that I have, she definitely is a really good balanced tank, DPS and healer, since in one of the next co-op matches that you will see, I managed to take out one of these bosses on my own, since my teammates both died and disconnected, so they left me alone. And I just had enough DPS to take out the boss in a decent time frame. I had the tank, the resistance and the defense to not get hit for too much when the boss hits me, and I had heals to actually heal myself and to heal damage done from the boss. So that's interesting. The scores are actually really similar, even though I'm a healer. So that's really interesting. That's really funny, should I say, since the other ones are fully fledged DPSs. And well, time to see. Yeah, I think this is the stage where I went solo on the boss. And here you will see some again, timing is key. Timing is key to victory, since if you miss evasion, and well, everything kind of has a penalty. You can't evade all you like. You have stamina, and after that you need to leave them to rest to recover stamina before you can dodge again. So that's really interesting to do. Again, skill based. It's skill based here, really skill based, since mistakes aren't forgiven. Depends on the character. This current character does forgive mistakes to some extent. Still, if you mess up, well, she will die. But this current build that I have at the moment kinda makes her dying kind of difficult. Should I say, like really difficult, because as you will see in this match, like I will be solo against this boss. It will be interesting. These bosses are hardcore usually, and well, let's enjoy the show. Now this character, this is the one that's currently fighting. He was there, or should I say she was there, but she kinda disconnected mid-match, so I'm left on my own over here. And as you can see, they definitely do some damage to me. They definitely are doing some damage, but it's not too much. And as you can see, I lose some HP, I get some HP. And well, now I'm on 50% health down. And even matching two colors will still heal you a little bit, but matching 3 colors is best. And here I'm restoring my HP with the ultimate. That little drone there is definitely doing some nasty damage, so you should focus on that drone usually first. And here my teammates kicked the bucket, as expected. And here now I am on my own. Well, I was on my own for quite some time now. But here it's a perfect opportunity to show her performance and her abilities in an actual challenging situation, as it's this. Since these bosses are no joke, these bosses are really difficult, and so far as you can see I'm doing a pretty decent job at taking this boss out. Now you don't want to be too far away from it, but you don't want to be too close to it. And keep in mind, I am playing with the high latency, with the high ping, so that's why my evasions and such are kind of delayed, but it's not a big problem. Still, taking some good damage doing some good damage to the boss. Definitely, almost 50% of his health is down. And ultimate to restore the HP. Her HP is 100% still. Tanking really good so far. And here I made a little mistake. You should always save at least 3 blue balls for healing purposes and for buffs, of course. Since you never know, you will definitely want to have some sort of healing always at your hand. And doing a good job here. The boss spawned the bloody ball over there. My HP dropped to 50%. I turned on her ultimate to restore my HP and to take out the drone. And well, my HP almost 100%. Really effectively, actively tanking this and doing some really decent damage to the boss with the delay. So this is pretty much the worst case scenario that you want to be in, or that should I say that you can be in. Now here my health is going down because I didn't save the balls for later, but thankfully I did get the balls back and my health back into action. And well, full HP now. Now the little drone appeared again, so I will have to take him out again. Alright. Definitely impressive how she's holding out so far. And definitely there are some moments where her HP kind of drops down, but as you can see her HP goes back up again really quickly. Really effective character, should I say. Like, impressive. Really impressive how this build works. And so, I can even make a better build, which I will in the future. Since, as you can see, boss defeated co-op solo, the highest difficulty possible, one of the highest difficulties possible. And that was interesting. Now let's see if the teammates were watching me. I'm curious about that. As you can see, they didn't do anything. I was the solo combatant here. And well, nice rewards there. Definitely will use them. And well, that was it for co-op over here. And well, one more left, just to show how she compares when there are 2 more DPS rounds. Now most of these people are from China, so they will have better internet connection, keep that in mind. So my damage output, if I had the same internet connection as they have, pretty much would be equal or just slightly greater than top tier builds for Alpha and for other characters that are pretty much DPS oriented. And that's not a bad thing, that's actually a good thing. And in this case, I'll just show how she can still be a support character. Well, she is pretty much a support by default, but in this case, we have Alpha and we have Karen over here, and one of them just kicked the bucket. And so I'll just be here. Oh, well, that happens. I'll just come close and I'll just barricade myself here like this, so I can heal them back up. That's really good. When you turn on her ultimate, she kind of gets close to invincibility. Not quite invincible, but close. Almost my HP went down, but it's back up again. Oh man, I will say this character is loads of fun to play. She is just so effective, unbelievable, and holy shit, impressive how I'm still alive. This is like the worst case scenario, one of the worst case scenarios that you want to get yourself in. No balls to heal, and pretty much teammates are dying out, should I say. And good that I have Alpha on my side here. I did kill her really good, as Karen died somehow. Well, the boss is dying as well. Impressive that I'm still alive. Really impressive that I'm still alive. And there we go. The boss is dead. Interesting. This was kinda really badly, like, the team wasn't the best, but we still managed to accomplish this, and the damage difference is not too big. Interesting. 36,000 healing points. Alright, well, to summarize things up, definitely this build is really nice, works really good, and as a overall general purpose character, well, as this build purpose her too is, she's really good. As you can see, she's really effective at this with this gear, and it's actually impressive how much the developers gave us the ability to be creative in this game, since you can pretty much make a healer to be a DPS and a tank at the same time. Now, I don't know, there are probably, I will make better builds than this, definitely. Still kinda curious to see how much builds can I fit, and I'm really looking forward to play with this character a lot more. So I hope this was helpful. Definitely this current setup, this current build that I'm using is really good, really effective. Definitely she definitely does pull her own weight with this current build. And well, with that being said, hope this was helpful, and I'll see you next time. Take care.